Oh well, if I get attacked, I get attacked. Today we're going to talk about ESEE knives. I received a question, actually quite a few, about ESEE knives. Why ESEE? There are other brands, Tim. Why are you always preaching, talking about ESEE? I have spoken about this before. We'll talk about it again. This is my ESEE number 4. Look at the dark handle on that. I didn't want to know about the bacteria on that micarta. I love micarta and I love 1095 high carbon steel. Does it rust? Absolutely. Will it if you take care of it? No, it will not. There is no rust on my ESEE knives. I'm a big fan of 1095, especially from ESEE knives. Got the number 4 here, got the number 6, always have this on my hip. I love this, I mean, fantastic combination, these two. So, why ESEE? And I've talked about this before. Why ESEE? For those of you that do not know, I used to own a tactical gear website. Everything you see on my channel and more was on my website. And I ran that for, I want to say 4 years. I think 4 years, roughly. I'm telling you, I'm not alone today. Anyway, knives are a big seller of mine. ESEE knives, ESEE fixed blades. Now this is quite a few years ago. This was roughly 7 years ago before I closed my business, and I ran it for give or take 3 or 4 years. ESEE knives were my biggest knife brand seller. Every day, every week, every month, every year from the day I started selling ESEE knives. Now back then they didn't have all the collection that they have now, and as well as they didn't have the different colors. Everything was the same, roughly linen micarta and black blades. Every single ESEE back then. At one time I had the whole collection, then got rid of a couple, then got a few more, and then I hate having stuff sitting around doing nothing. I really do. But there are knives like my ESEE knife collection that I really wish I kept them all because of my history with them. But anyway, I'm selling ESEE knives. They're a big seller of mine. Unbeknownst to me, on the knife forums, I think that's what it was called, knife forums, somebody, a customer of mine, had a problem with an ESEE knife. He did something to the ESEE knife. Now I know for a fact ESEE takes care of their customers, and as well, if not especially, their dealers, their sellers, people like myself. Now, I was not buying wholesale directly from ESEE because you needed to spend a certain amount of money or a certain amount of knives. They're all like that. So I was going through a wholesaler, a drop shipper, right? Yeah. And I had at one time 3 different drop shippers because I could not, one supplier could not keep up with my orders for ESEE knives. No other item in my entire website out of several thousand or 1,000 products were like that. It was just ESEE knives. They're just great knives. Customer of mine had a problem. He contacted me. Without a question asked, I said, I already had his information. I said, I'm sending you another one. When you get this, send me the one you have. And he's like, really? How about it? I said, listen, I think he has something coming up. I said, don't worry about it. I know ESEE will take care of me. I'm sending this to you now. He got it, I don't know, within a week or 2, he sent back the one that he himself had ruined. He goes on knife forums, leaves a really nice, unbeknownst to me, he reads a really nice article about me, my business, my website, and you know, ESEE and all this. Mike Perrin, one of the 2 owners of ESEE Knives, goes on there and says, hey, who is this guy Tim? I want to talk with him. Somebody contacted me and said, hey, go on knife forums, check out this. Mike Perrin's looking for you, and so on. I go on there, I contact him, I believe I just went through their website. But I wanted to see if it was true. Was he really looking for me? He was. Contacted him. He called me. We talked. A lot about knives, and I mean, very interesting gentleman. Really interested to talk to. I mean, the classes they teach down in the jungles in South America. I mean, just absolutely incredible. And I love their knives. So he says, who do you get your knives from? Do you buy them from us? I said, I don't, because at the time when I started, I had to spend a certain amount of money, and I didn't want to drop that kind of money at one time. There were other reasons. I said the drop shipping works for me. I get one knife, I ship one knife. I get, somebody buys a knife from me, I ship it. I don't need to have stock, which later on I ended up doing that, but it wasn't like that in the beginning. So he said, from now on, you buy from me. He contacted his girl in the office or whoever that takes the orders. He said, if you want one knife, you buy one knife at their cost. He says, you want two knives, you get two knives, and so on. And that really helped me out. Now remember, this was sort of in the beginning of my business, I ended up eventually buying large quantities of knives. For me, they were large. 20 knives, 30 knives at a time, give or take. But this is in the beginning. I'm sorry if I didn't reiterate that or mention that. This is in the beginning. Like, I need one knife, I need two knives, I need three knives, I need five knives. Yeah. So, and then it just took off. Like the knives, I mean, really great relationship. They're wonderful people. We talked, not a lot, but often enough. And I'm telling you, I'm not alone. I've had a lot of knives come and go. This is way before I was reviewing gear. I had my favorites, and ESEE was always my favorite. I really like linen micarta. I just do. I know some people have a problem with it. I know my ESEE 6, one of my favorite knives. I know people, and very rightfully so, said the handle's too blocky. You know what? It's fine for me. I really like it. Kydex with some of their knives, not all of them, not with the 6, unfortunately, and the 3. But I do know that the 4, the 5, the Hoonglass, now they have the baby Hoonglass or Hoonglass 2, and a bunch of other knives. But I think what you get for the money is a great, I will literally have these knives, if I don't get rid of them, for the rest of my life. And that's the truth. I don't baton. I have. That's why you don't see all the striations. I cut things. That's pretty much it. Our people. I'm kidding. Not things. People. I'm kidding again. Yeah, I mean, I don't baton, so the coating is staying on. This here is only, I think, 2 years old, maybe. This here is, I've had this for 9 years, 10 years, maybe. A long time. Love this blade. Yeah. 1095 high carbon steel. I have no problem with 1095. I've never had one chip. And I'm brutal on my gear. I really am. I just am. When I go home, not every time, but every few months, I run it. I do quick on the Ken Onion Work Sharp, and then I strop every time I'm out. If I've used my knife, which I normally do when I'm out, I will use my knife. I go home, I just strop it, and then I hit it with oil, wipe it, put it back in the sheath, done. That's it. I never have a problem. There's no rust. Somebody told me, well, mine rusts all the time. You're not taking care of it. That's the only reason. There is no other reason other than you're not taking care of it. I'm sorry. That's it. There's no other reason. Oil it. That's it. I don't use these on food. I have a folder that is not oiled, so it's not a problem. These are just for cutting things, slicing things. If I have to baton, which I almost never ever have to, I have a hatchet or an axe for that. I just can't say enough. I love the 6. It's great, perfect size, perfect weight. The sheath is to cut down on cost, is okay. It's just like a molded plastic. Great sheath, not the best looking sheath, but it's a fantastic sheath. Are there other good brands? Yes, there are. Are there other fantastic, better rust-proof metals for not? Yes, there are. There's a few brands I would love to try, but when I have 4, 5, 6 knives myself, there's so much stuff I want and or need that for me to just keep buying more and more of something I already have, to me, seems a waste. I know it's a gear review channel, but there's a lot I want or need. I'd have a ton of knives if I could. But anyway, I hope that helps. They serve me very well. They're inexpensive, in my opinion, for what you get. They're inexpensive. And my history with ESEE and Mike Perrin, how they were there for me when I was starting out, I could count on one hand with a couple fingers left over in all the ESEE knives I've sold back then, how many came back for whatever the reason. And 99.9% of the time it was because they were doing something they shouldn't. And ESEE stands by their stuff. And if they know you took a hacksaw to the back of your blade so you can do sparks on a fire steel. And yes, that has happened, not once, a lot of times. I only know of one person that did it, but I do know of a lot of people, or heard about a lot of people that have done that. And they take care of their customers. So ESEE will always have a place in my heart. This sounds weird. In my heart, I'll always use ESEE. I'll be passing these down to my kids. Will I try more knives or other knives? Yes, eventually, yes. But my want list or need list is huge. Anyway, I hope that maybe cleared up something for some of you. If you're interested in ESEE, do not hesitate. Get one. You'll be very happy. Take care of it with oil. You'll be very happy. If I can answer any questions about ESEE at all, I'm looking at this one, or this one. Which one is best for this? I always try to help everybody as much as I can. Leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. Go get an ESEE. Go get an ESEE. Bye.